Hi, folks. A little story. A couple of Sundays ago, I was at the Charlie Kirk funeral memorial, and I'm standing there, right up towards the stage and looking at the beautiful, just everything was just beautiful. The music, the people, there's so much love in that room. I bumped into a guy, and let's talk to this guy. My next guest is a senior director at TPUSA Faith, who was handpicked by Charlie Kirk to work for the organization. He's the host of Strong Church podcast, and his newest book is Pagan Threat, Confronting America's Godless, Uprising. Let's welcome Lucas Miles. Welcome, Lucas. But, what are we, 3 weeks to the day? In fact, 3 weeks ago and 10 minutes ago, I made the announcement that Charlie Kirk had died from the assassin's bullet, from this very stage at this time 3 weeks ago. Tell us, Turning Point went back to Utah just 3 weeks. Utah State University in Logan, Utah, only about 2 hours away from Utah Valley University, where Charlie was assassinated. What was the thought process behind that, sir?
But these were stops that we had scheduled, but we're not backing down. We're not going anywhere. We're not stopping. Erica made it very clear. Charlie's vision is going to continue. His name is going to be known. And this isn't about, it's not about, this isn't a revenge tour. This is America's comeback tour. We want to see the America that all of us want to live in. We believe that this nation is great and built on great principles. And we really want to see that ring true. And really, there's a revival taking place in this nation among young people right now. And as a pastor myself, that's something I could not be more excited about. We miss our friend, but this is unbelievable what we're seeing on the other side of this.
Yeah, it's incredible, the outpouring. You just walked in that stadium when we were there, and just looking around, and wow, it's just phenomenal. And as head of the faith outreach at TPUSA, Lucas, you must be inspired by how much love and how much faith people have really pushed forward since Charlie's assassination.
Charlie Kirk died a martyr, and I can't even begin to describe how much I respect him, his life. He was the most integrity-filled person I knew. Who he was in front of the camera was who he was behind the camera. He truly practiced what he preached every single day. There was no idle moment in his life. He was living for this moment, for revival to take place. None of us thought it would take him giving his life to get us here. But the Bible, or really the church history tells us that the seed of the martyr the death of the martyr is the seed of the church. And Charlie, I think just exemplifies that. We are seeing churches double. We are seeing people buy Bibles and come back to the faith in record numbers right now.
Tell us what else you guys are doing. What else are you seeing within TPUSA? I know within, days of Charlie's assassination, I think the number was 67,000 requests for chapters at different schools around the country. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's gone up to, I think, over 180,000 now. So it has exploded. It's amazing and also somewhat indescribable about what we're experiencing. There is such a groundswell of emails and messages and social media posts and these things, just saying, how can I help? How can I get involved? How can I give? How can my church get, connected? We have pastors, thousands of pastors reaching out saying, you know what? I wasn't in this fight before, but I'm ready to be in it now. This woke me up. We have, Christians of all kinds, reaching out. Our college division is exploding. There's a lot of activity. Charlie would be so thrilled. I know he's looking down from heaven, seeing all this right now. We want to make him proud. Charlie is in typical Charlie Kirk fashion. We're working harder than ever right now. There's grieving that's taking place as we're going. The staff is hugging each other, loving on each other. It's a difficult time, but there's also a great reward of seeing, this move, and we want to capitalize on every opportunity so Charlie's life and his death would not be in vain.
How's Erica doing?
I think that Erica is such an amazing woman. I mean, we've seen her several times in these speeches just, really just shake the nation. Her resolve, her just commitment, love for her husband. She, when she was announced as the CEO, it was such a unifying force for the organization. I think just that everybody just breathed this sigh of relief. We just felt like it's going to be okay. Obviously, this is going to take time, and there's a tremendous amount of grief. I think that I've seen very few women that is stronger than her, and she is the right person for the job right now. And we're all behind her 100%.
And there's still bad people in the world, Lucas, and the reason why I'm saying this, a couple hours before the event in Utah, apparently there's a suspicious package that was found on the Utah State University campus and was detonated by law enforcement. Now, what's that all about? Do you think this was left there on purpose to kind of mess with people's minds, like, oh, here we go again? Do we know what that was?
I don't have any information on that particular package or anything like that. What I can tell you is that there, of course, the powers that be, and as a pastor, I believe that that there is an evil one, and he wants to thwart any opportunity for life. Charlie would all the time quote John 10:10, one of my favorite passages. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I've come to give life and life to the full. The thief he's never made anything in his life. He's never built anything in his life. He's never created anything in his life. He's just there to steal. And, we're not going to back down. Obviously, we're being safe. We want to have as much, security. And I'm encouraging pastors all over the country. This isn't just about Turning Point. Church, Christianity is under attack. You need to be thinking about security at your church. You need to be making sure that you're taking those steps. But ultimately, all of us have to say it is worth it to share the gospel. It's worth it to save this country. It's worth it to save this generation. And we're going to follow in Charlie's footsteps, and we're going to do it anyways.
Very inspirational, Pastor Lucas. When I announced Charlie's passing on the show, I was ticked off. I was mad. I didn't go through the stages of grief. I wasn't going to go through shock and sorrow and anger and confusion. I went right to anger. I just went right to anger. I'm still mad. I want to see the death penalty for this. I would like to see the firing squad. Pastor Lucas, help me out here. I'm a Christian. Help me out here. But I want to see him pay for what he did to Charlie.
Look, obviously, we want a full investigation on this to make sure that anybody that had anything to do with this, whatsoever, whether it's in some of these dark chat rooms and those things, that everybody is held accountable for any involvement in this. We saw Erica's words of forgiveness, and that shook the nation, with this incredible, divine love and grace that she was able to offer. But it's important we recognize the state's job, according to Romans 13, is to carry the sword and to punish those who do evil. And as a Christian, I support that. I support the fullest punishment possible for anybody that had anything to do with this. As a Christian, I can say, look, I need God's grace as much as anybody else does, and I can offer forgiveness for that, for anybody involved in his killing. But that does not mean that forgiveness means that there's no consequences in this life. And I believe that it's the state's job to punish to the fullest extent of the law as a detriment for these things in the future.
AOC, Elon Omar, and Jasmine Crockett, all Congresswomen, Democrat Congresswomen, within days of Charlie's assassination, came out with statements basically, and I'm going to paraphrase here, blaming Charlie for his own assassination because of his words. What do you say to those folks?
Yeah, I mean, we've heard the phrases of live by the sword, die by the sword. Look, I've never seen anybody with a sword hand microphones over to their so-called opponents and give them 3 hours to talk and ask questions. If Charlie was a fascist, he was a really bad one. Charlie loved people. He loved this generation. He was one of the few people who was willing to go where they are, to some of the darker places in our society, to some of these campuses that just hate the truth. Truth is only controversial if you don't want to hear it. If you're not willing to receive it. Charlie was going out there sharing freedom in life, trusted principles that have been held by Western world for 2,000 years. And he was trying to help this generation that's so riddled with confusion and skepticism and doubt, and they don't even know what gender they are, let alone, who God is. And so Charlie was willing to go there. I think anybody that's trying to put this on Charlie or blame him for it, one, they don't understand who Charlie was, and two, I think it's a despicable and shameful and cowardly act.
All right, Pastor Lucas Miles, where can we find your podcast? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's on you can go to TPUSAFaith.com. We're also on YouTube, other platforms as well. If you want to find out more about me, at Mr. Lucas Miles on most platforms.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Lucas Miles, appreciate your time and keep the faith, so as they say, and still looking for it. Still looking for that forgiving nature. It's just not in me yet. Sorry. Pastor, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, 2.5 minutes. We'll be right back.